welcome to the mayor's very first press briefing of 2017. It's nice to have you all here this morning. We've got a couple of things that we would like to cover. One of which is just reminding people that there was a very nice article written by one of our local folks in the Business Journal that just talked about Wichita getting its mojo back. And I think that's very true as we look at some of the items that are going to be coming out of the ground in 2017. Certainly we appreciated the article and its entirety and what it is really saying about Wichita and where we're at today, because we really do believe we have a lot of momentum, and you're going to see some of those projects reach their completion in 2017 or early 2018, including things like the library and some other infrastructure things that we're working on in preparation for the men's 2018 NCAA tournament that's going to be held in Wichita. An item that continually comes up that's important to neighborhoods, almost as important to the investment that we're making from the Hyatt proceeds with $10 million going to neighborhood streets, is neighborhood street sweepers. And many people ask when the street sweepers come around. We often see them at particular times after snow events when we're cleaning back up some of those sands, and I don't know that we use too much salt anymore, but Mr. King can talk about that. So here to talk about how all of that works and some of the timing of our street sweepers, we have Alan King, Director of Public Works. And Alan, I'm going to just let you tell them all of the good stuff and share with them. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As the mayor mentioned, we're rolling out a new application that's available on our website. And but before I go there and show you a little bit about it, I want to take a little bit of time to give you some general information about our street sweeping. We sweep our residential streets be somewhere between 1 and 3 times a year, and a lot of that has to depends on the need for it, and that's driven by weather, by the amount of vegetation, leaves, and that sort of thing on the streets. So we adapt our street sweeping to adjust for the conditions that we have. But generally, we're about 1 to 3 times per year in the residential streets. The number of sweepers that we have out there, we run them on 3 shifts. So we have a first shift during the day, and generally we're in the residential neighborhoods. We have 5 sweepers out during that time. Second shift and third shift we're running out on the arterials, and the idea being that we stay in the neighborhoods when people generally are at work or at school, and then we move out into the arterials when in the evening when there's less traffic to have to contend with, kind of staying out of the way, if you will. When you go and look at the map, probably the best way to start, one way to get there is by starting at the city's home page, and that's at wichita.gov, and you'll see there's a banner down here, and in that banner there's a icon that says streets. If you select that, it'll take you to the streets page, and if you scroll down, you'll see here, go to the residential street sweeping map. So if you select that link, it takes you to the application itself. Now, it starts with this screen that basically says, that the estimated times for next sweeping are our best estimate. They're subject to change. They're based on the best information we have at the time. And as you get closer to a scheduled sweeping date, that estimate becomes more accurate. So if you want to get some kind of an idea generally about when the next time your street will be swept, the further out it is into the future, the less precise it is. And then as it gets closer to the date that it looks like you're going to actually get swept, it's pretty accurate within a day or so. And then also there's a link on this that takes you to an online tutorial, and I'll talk about that a little bit, but it's an actual video, narrated video, that walks you through the application and shows you the various functions and how to use the application. It's a fairly sophisticated application. So after you go ahead and hit agree, there's a note because some of the times of the year our street sweepers are not out. If it's inclement weather, so for example, it's because of sub-freezing air temperatures. We don't have our street sweepers out typically then. But we did put 3 sweepers out on the streets for purposes of this demonstration today. So if you go ahead and zoom in, either using the toolbar here, or the plus or minus, or the wheel on your mouse to zoom in, what you'll see is the city broken up in street sweeping routes, which are basically squares. The city's broken up. And for each of those, you'll notice that it says next estimated date for the next sweeping, and it gives you a date. So, for example, this one here is 8/29 of 2017. Now, if you look here on the map, I'm going to see if I can't find a sweeper that's out there right now. You'll notice some colored dots. And as you zoom into that area, you'll see a truck icon right up here. And what this truck icon is showing you is, if you click on it, it says what the street sweeper number is, where it's currently at, and what speed it's traveling at. So it gives you some information about that individual street sweeper. It also, we have the ability to show just those. If you deselect sweeping in the last 24 hours, it takes off the ones that have been done that have been in the last 24 hours and just shows you the most recent sweeping. And if you select it again, then it shows you where that truck has been in the last 24 hours. So let's go ahead and zoom out and look at a different one. Here, let's look in this area down here. So you can see the dots. Those, we call those breadcrumbs. There's a GPS unit located in each of our sweepers, and what it does is it sends out its information on its location every 10 seconds, and then it locates that position where the sweeper's been actually sweeping and leaves a dot so that you can see where that sweeper has been and where it's sweeping. So that's what you're looking at there. This gives people the ability to look at where the sweepers are right now, where they have been most recently. That date that I showed you earlier shows when the next estimated sweeping date is. And then if you want to, you can go up here to where it says this toolbar up in the upper left side of the screen, and it says find address or place. And so, for example, if I put in this City Hall's address, which is 455 North Main, what it'll do is it'll take you to that address. So if you want to look at your address, you can type your address in there. The map will take you to your address. And then what it does is it shows you, if you zoom in on it, you can say, well, when was the last time that Main Street, North Main Street, was swept by City Hall? If you click on it, what it'll do is it'll tell you last swept, and then it gives you the last time that street was swept. So if you wondered when was the last time my street was swept, you put in your address, click on your street, and it'll tell you when the last time it was swept. If you want to know, well, where are the sweepers relative to my house right now, you can look at the map and see the breadcrumbs of where the sweepers are or have been in the last 24 hours. And if you want to get an estimate about the next time that it's going to be swept, in each zone, you see, each area, you see the estimated date of when that next sweeping is going to occur. So we hope that this tool will give people the ability to get a sense of what the sweeping program is, because so much of it is not visible. It's in the neighborhoods during the day when people are at school and at work. It's out on the streets in the evening hours when people are home. We do that on purpose. This gives you a way to have some more transparency in our operation. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
That's excellent. Alan, thank you very much, and I hope that our citizens can appreciate what we're trying to do to just certainly bring more information that's usable to their fingertips. And this is a wonderful tool, and I appreciate what you all are doing there in our public works. I want to remind people again, and I know that we've been doing some public service announcements around this, but with this cold weather, and it's certainly cold outside today, please do not leave your cars running unattended. That is the easy target for people that in some cases may just want to jump in there and take it for a joyride. And so if people will just simply be more aware of these kinds of activities, it will eliminate a lot of frustration for them and for our Wichita Police Department. So again, in these cold weather days, please do not leave your car running unattended. It is an easy target. want to talk about a new program, and we have with us Stephanie Huff today from our library system. We're going to be rolling out and launching a new program called 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. And so, Stephanie Huff, thank you for being here with us, and I'm going to turn it over to you to let you share this good stuff.
Thank you. 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten is a national reading challenge that is now available for Wichita parents and caregivers to participate in. With the knowledge that the more books and words that a child hears in their early formative years, the more likely they are to be successful in school, so the Wichita Public Library is challenging parents to commit to reading 1,000 books to their child before they start their first day of kindergarten. Parents and caregivers can pick up a folder to get started at any one of our 8 Wichita Public Library locations, which includes a tracking sheet inside that the parents or child can color in each time a book is read. And then after accomplishing those first 100 books, return to the library and their child will receive a book bag as well as a place to mark their progress at the local library. 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten is just one part of the Wichita Public Library's Early Literacy Initiative, which is our commitment in creating young readers across the city.
Stephanie, thank you. And one of the things that I learned early on in my days of being a school board member is learning starts very early for kids. And we had some great programs and initiatives that targeted those early formative years, and these are very important to developing that next generation that's going to take care of me when I retire. And so let's keep making sure that the pipeline's filled. Had an opportunity to have breakfast with Secretary of Commerce Antonio Suave this week. Just to give you a quick little update, things continue to progress nicely with some of the activities that he's helping us with. We have the Star Bond program that's going to enable us to build a new baseball stadium on the river. I will tell you, our biggest cheerleader for Wichita is our Secretary of Commerce, Antonio Suave. And what he fully understands is when Wichita's doing well, the state of Kansas is going to do well. And love the partnership that we've been able to form with him in his position. And so as we push those initiatives forward, we have a tremendous partner with Antonio. Seeing Councilmember James Clendenin that has joined us here reminds me that he's going to be a part of a forum tomorrow at the local Pachyderm Club and share some of our 2017 initiatives with the groups that are going to be attending. So James, thank you for doing that on behalf of the city, and at that point in time I'll just open it up to see if there are any questions. Well, seeing it's a quiet beginning to 2017, again, we appreciate you being here and look forward to what 2017 brings. Thank you all for being here today.